As always, trying to rebalance many lines is catching up with me, and I can only hope what I've set in motion for Catherine and for Katja will lead to the best possible outcomes for their respective lines. Ingenious, Ingenix, the lines that are ahead of ours. For us, XI. For Katja, I guess I'll find out soon enough, because Katja's line is behind us, and maybe we'll still have time to change how events unfold for Natasha and whoever she's got herself mixed up with. All these lines, so similar yet so different. Alright, let's go and drop in on Katja. Find out what she knows, see if maybe Natasha is in over her head like Natalie was. There's Katja, in her office, on the edge of her seat. Literally. Let's see what I can do to help. Holy... Kit, perhaps a warning would be nice. Sorry, Katja. I know it can be a bit disconcerting to have me just pop out of the ether into the room. But you felt me coming, didn't you? I was waiting, yes, and now that I think about it, yes, I did feel your presence before you appeared. Just have to learn to recognize it more effectively, I guess. I'm sorry, I'll do better next time. But I am truly glad to see you. You have no idea how worried we all are about Natasha. I think you'd be surprised. But let's focus on what's going on. Tell me what you know. Not much. Like I told you, I'd been trying to get in touch with Natasha for a few days. No luck. It wasn't until I managed to track down Victor that I realized she was really missing. Alright, I'm assuming Victor gave you details. Was she working on any particular story for NI? He was a bit vague, I'm afraid. All I can say for certain is that he was very upset and more concerned than I think I've ever heard him. He's always been a bit of a hard case with me, but not with Natasha. She had him almost eating out of her hand. I don't think he could believe his luck at getting the chance to recruit her into NI. And now, he's frantic. Seems that there's only one way for us to get the information we need, so we can begin piecing together what's happened. I think we start with a quick visit to Victor. Give him the surprise of his life. Get the real scoop on what Natasha might have been involved with that has Victor clearly convinced she's in real danger. Then we follow Natasha's trail to wherever it leads. For part 1, I'm going to need you. But the tracking Natasha down piece, I'll handle that myself. What do you say? If we can get Natasha back, I'm with you. All the way. There's likely more to this than just getting her back, but we'll figure that out as we go. And I'm guessing we have no time to waste if we want to minimize the danger to, well, frankly, not just Natasha. So, shall we? Let me know if I'm not taking us the right way, Katja. But I do have experience in my own line with Victor's equivalent, and I'm guessing the directions will be similar. It seems we are aligned in more ways than I realized. Yes, this is the way to NI. Alright, there's the building. Now, if we want to catch Victor at this time of day, I suggest we start with the editing floor. Yes, exactly. There he is. But we can't just drop in. We need a dark corner, some hidden location so we don't freak out everyone. I find washrooms are a good option most of the time. How about we drop into the ladies and move out from there? There will be questions, Kat. How did we get in without checking through security or registering our arrival? I can't believe for 1 second that would ever stop you from doing something important, Katja. Not having official clearance? But if you prefer coming through the front door, letting the security team hassle you, all of that, I'll go along. Just, we don't have a lot of time. You're right, I'm sorry. Washroom will be fine. And I can convince Victor that we are both just so good at our job that we can bypass any entry procedure as needed. Alright, ladies' room it is. Empty. Perfect. Hold on. You do the talking, at least to start. Remember, we don't want to raise any more alarm bells than he's already dealing with. Alright? Sure. I am just following up on him because I could tell how worried he was and offering my services to help track Natasha down. Exactly. Okay, let's get this done. Victor, do you have a moment?
Katja? Holy crap. How did you even get in here? We have this place sealed tight.
No such thing. Come on, Victor, this is me. And I've brought along my... My sister, Kat. Two of us. Even better than one.
We are in middle of task, Katja. Important task. You cannot... I'm going to have you escorted out.
No, Victor, you are not. We need a word, and you know what it is about. So either you oblige us or we start asking around. Because I know you're not the only one here that can...
No, stop. Come to my office. A minute, no more.
Better. Thank you.
No, there is not much to say. I told you on the phone. All I know.
I'm sorry, Victor, but neither of us believed that for a second. Natasha was working on something big, wasn't she? And you knew about it. Else, why the panic? You've locked the place down because you know what's going on and it scares you. We're here to help. Believe me, I've had some practice. I promise you, we can get Natasha back safe. But it'll be so much easier if you just cooperate.
Katja, who is this overconfident sister of yours? I warn you, you are treading dangerous ground, both of you. We lost not just Natasha, but another young woman she was working with. So, in half an hour, we defy those that took them. We go live with the story. A story you are not about to get from me until it is aired in public.
Wrong, Victor. First, because you're going to tell us what's really going on. Second, because you don't have enough information about those who may have taken Natasha to do them any damage. So all your bravado will accomplish is to bring them down on you even harder. Is that what you want? And Victor, we can do this with or without your cooperation. So if you believe you're helping Natasha, or NI, or yourself by keeping us in the dark, you're only fooling yourself. We're going to find Natasha one way or another. Tell us what you know, and it will not only save us time, it might save lives.
All right, then listen, because I will say this only once. It is very powerful insurance company, Exogen Insurance. You may not have heard of them. They underwrite the world's largest banks, but are totally private and off public radar. Banks have seen some very large losses in past 2 weeks. Natasha was investigating, and before she disappeared yesterday, she had already dug up evidence, which she was busy confirming.
That XI are actually behind those losses? Or thefts, to put it a little more directly. Am I right?
Yes. How did you know this?
It's our job to know. So, you think XI are behind Natasha's disappearance?
It would be the most likely explanation. She is such a spirit of Natasha. You have no idea how she inspires everyone around her at NI. We cannot do without her. So, we try to force XI into coming clean by implicating them in these thefts.
But you don't really have enough leverage yet, do you? The evidence is still weak. That's what Natasha was trying to change.
Yes, you are right. But we must take some action. XI is not only holding the banks to ransom. Now they have stifled the press by taking Natasha and Hélène prisoner.
Hélène? Is that Natasha's inside connection at XI?
How can you possibly...
Let's just say I've been here before. Or at least dealt with similar situations. So you think XI have taken both Natasha and their own employee out? To keep them from digging any further into the truth?
That is what we believe.
Why would an insurance company rob its own clients? How can that benefit them? I mean, unless they intend to just ignore the policies the banks hold with them.
Reasons are still not clear, Ketja. But we do have, through Hélène, a copy of one of those policies. Clear statement which absolves insurance company of any responsibility if bank does not demonstrate effective security measures against cyber attack.
Now let me guess. All the thefts were carried out digitally. No actual money changed hands, but there are no traces as to how the bank's capital vaporized. Blockchain records completely absent?
Now I believe what you said at the start. That you will get Natasha back. Because you know more about this situation than I do right from start. So, Ketcha's sister, what do you believe XI will do with all of this newly acquired fortune?
Take over? What do you mean, take over? The world, Ketcha. Seize control. They can buy out whatever they want, and whoever they want, including terrorists if they need an army.
An army? Why would they?
You're probably right. Very likely they have their own enforcement personnel already. But now they have the money and the power to be able to push forward an agenda that they've kept hidden, just like the organization itself. My guess is the banks are owning the financial side of their operation. I suspect they have their fingers in a lot more pots than you know about. Governments, intelligence services, military, that will need to get Natasha and Hélène back to confirm. So, Victor, When did you last see her?
Yesterday, around 4 p.m., nearly a day ago. She and Ellen were working on some documents, and we suddenly get very excited. I asked what it was about, but Natasha said she couldn't tell until they were sure. She said they needed to tap one more source. Then they left together. We have not heard from them.
And that is not like Natasha, is it?
Bring her back to us, Ketja. I know she's in trouble. We all do. This is big story. Very big. But we can't land it, not without her.
Do me a favor, Victor. Your report, the one you're about to release. Hold back on details. Sure, mention the losses at the banks. Report that your star investigator is missing. But say nothing about the thefts, or who you suspect carried them out. Draw too much attention, and you put not just Natasha and Elaine at risk, but also yourself and everyone here at NI. Can you do that?
Will you bring Natasha back, Kat?
If it's humanly possible, Victor. She will be back here by tonight. You have my word.
Then I will do as you ask. Story will wait. For now.
You know what you're up against, Kat. Are you sure about this? Believe me, there's no such thing as sure, but as sure as I can be. Now, Ketja, you and I have work to do. And Victor, well, he has a news bulletin to prepare. Thank you for your help, Victor. I'm sure we'll see you soon. Ketja, shall we? Kat, now I understand why you always seem so busy whenever I try to contact you. This isn't the first time you've done this, is it? You've been dealing with similar situations in other lines. Yes, I have. And in each case, a different scenario, Ketja. But in all cases, well, something we can't ignore, because it has global implications. And of course, it involves my sister selves, more or less directly. Is that why you inferred all of these things about XI and its plans? Because you've seen it elsewhere? Pretty much, I'm afraid. And I'm not kidding about the global impact thing. So I need to get the wheels in motion, bring Natasha and Elaine back, and confirm all the facts, so that Victor can make this fully public before it's too late. I want to help, Kat, but not sure quite how to do that. For now, I'm going to drop you off with Tiss and Alex. You can watch them while this all goes down. Once we have all the pieces in place, I'll bring you back into the action. Are you sure you don't want me with you, by your side, while you work through this? You're going to need help, Kat. Believe me, if I thought having you with me would make this all go more smoothly, I'd jump at the chance. But the reality is I think it would be overwhelming for you to see what this really all involves. Maybe under less demanding circumstances we'll give it a shot, but right now... I understand, I think. Alright, I'll focus on keeping my friends safe. No, Kat, that all our thoughts are with you. I do know that, Ketja. Give Tiss and Alex my best, and I'll see you soon. So now I whiz back to yesterday at NI, last time Victor saw Natasha and Elaine. All that speculation on what this local version of XI is really up to may seem a bit of a stretch to Victor, to Ketja, but given what I've already faced today, I suspect I'm pretty close to nailing it. Alright, back at NI, and there they are, getting ready to leave, heading south. They're going back to XI, and it's... wow! Housed in the upper floors of this massive bank tower. No signage other than the bank, so maybe that's how they stay off the radar. Insurance for the banks, but possibly they actually exist in bank complexes across the globe. Invisible, except to the very few. Clever. Okay, in the doors, up an elevator, 35th floor. Elaine has access, Natasha tagging along. They're tapping into a data bank. Seem to be getting blocked past a certain clearance level. Wait, whatever they were doing, it triggered alarms. Now they're seized by security, escorted to separate rooms. Bare and well-built, solid doors with serious locks. Prisoners. And then, holy shit, they've been what, gassed? Knocked unconscious, carried out secretly in the middle of the night into a secure bank vehicle, one of those armored trucks they use to transfer money. Driven out to what looks like, yes, a prison. Locked away in isolation, so they can't share any of what happened. And of course, the guards, the wardens, probably all paid by XI. Well, Cat, it looks like you're going to have to cause a little havoc once again to free our co-conspirators. Let's follow the standard procedure. Start with security and disable the camera feeds. Here we are. Yikes! There are 6 guards. I may need to use this little pistol I brought with me from Ketch's line. Give our friends a little surprise. Shit, that was close. But all down. Now, the monitors. Okay, cameras are down, recording servers in flames, the entire station in total turmoil. Let's use the distraction to pluck our friends from the lion's den. Following Natasha's trail to her cell, looks on close inspection like this area has its own patrol and guard station. I'm going to have to deal with it separately. But at least the alarms have the guards on edge, and there's only 2 of them. Even better, only Natasha and Hélène in the cells. I should be able to do this quickly. Guards down. Now, let's just disable the cell locks.
System stop.
Wipe the system. That should do it. Natasha? Natasha! Ket? Is that you? It is. I heard from Ketcha that you were in a bit of trouble. Here to set things right. Let's get Hélène and make our exit before all the reinforcements arrive. Ket, how did you escape now? Explanations later. Ah, here we are. Hélène, I presume. Oh, Natasha? Oh my god. We are free for now. But ladies, if you want to stay that way, I need you each to take my hand. Good. Now hold on. This will feel a little strange. So, yet another daring prison rescue by Cat Anderson, and safely out of the fire into the frying pan again. But that little incident, the security room, one of the guards seemed to have my number, figured out my location, something, because he fired at me and I only... Shit, actually he grazed my arm. Cutting it close this time, Cat. Too close. Confidence and determination are one thing, but a foolhardy death wish is another entirely. Well, it all goes to prove. I may have these new special gifts, but that doesn't make me invincible. I go down, all this timeline hopping, probably everything that involves using the light, it all stops. Can't let that happen. And now that I think about it, if I'd arrived at that security station, 6 guards and only me to take them on, no stun gun, I'd probably be on the floor of that room right now, bleeding out. So this is all connected somehow in much larger ways than I've always thought. Because this pistol I have, I didn't just pick it up by chance. Chose to carry it after that close call I had with Ketcha, which means I was meant to have it, and there's probably a version of me that didn't choose to pick it up when I was with Ketcha, and who wasn't prepared to handle those 6 guards. Man, that screws with the mind. Just thinking of all those other cats who drop by the wayside as I move on. So long as at least one of my versions chooses a course where she survives, I keep going. Gives me shivers. I feel like I'm surrounded by ghosts. Ghosts of my other selves who didn't quite make it, and ghosts of the timelines I'm leaving behind along with them. And there's this other creepy thing to think about. That guard who saw me, tracked me from the moment I first appeared in that guard room while I was still in the light. How is that possible? Nobody up till now has even been aware of my presence, with the exception of my sister selves. So why him, and why now? Is my ability beginning to fade? Am I going to end up frozen here in the light for the rest of time because my gift suddenly abandons me? Shit, I guess I've spent so much time trying to get used to this, learn how to use it effectively, that I've lost sight of the big picture. It's just something I can do. Not anything I worked on, trained for, simply an ability that suddenly appeared. And I suppose one that could just as suddenly cease to exist. So if I didn't already feel the pressure of trying to resolve this world crisis in 5 different timelines, now I've got a potential countdown clock running. Get it done by the time that clock stops, or it'll be too late. So, Cat, stop musing and get over to pick up Getcha. Now.
Getcha? I'm here with Natasha and Elaine in the light. Can you move to the bathroom and step in? We need to get these two back to Victor so they can do what's needed.
Of course, Cat. I'll give my excuses. Tess and Alex are both doing fine anyway, and they would be very shocked if they saw you suddenly appear.
True. I'll be here, waiting.
I see she's giving Tess a sense of how urgent this all is, and in the end I may need to come back and get these two if Natasha and Elaine couldn't quite collect all the data they needed over at XI. But for now, I think NI is a safer place than being here. Public, always on air, and visible. Here, Cat. Good to see those two in one place. Yes, I agree, but it was a near thing. More so than I would have liked. Does he have all the data Victor will need to really make the story work? Didn't have time to check. Although, when I saw them at XI, it looked like they were having some trouble accessing what they wanted. We may end up needing to bring Alex in on this. He would be happy to help. I've given both he and Tess a brief overview. Needless to say, they're a bit shocked. But on board with whatever we need. Good. Then let's get the ball rolling at NI, and we can decide from there if we need the extra help. Cat, why does this not look... Holy shit, Katja. Victor said he'd locked the place down, but it looks like someone dropped a bomb on it. Smoking and on fire. God, I hope everyone's...
Cat? Cat, are you there? Katrina? What is it? What's happened?
Remember when you first came back and dropped those hints? The ones that...
Of course. Changed all the lines.
Well, it seems that Tess, Alex, Natalie, they are like those hints, except they've been more of an explosion, shaking the fabric of our line. I believe, Cat, our line has fractured, split apart. I don't know if it will survive.